Bro, your truck's cool, but like, you don't even have a light bar up there.
Oh no, dude, I'm putting a light bar on there, 52 inch.
Oh, you're gonna get one? That's cute.
No, I'm not just putting the one up there. I got two.
Two. Yeah, my grandma put 2 light bars on her Crown Vic.
Dude, you think I'd stop at 2? Of course, I'm putting 3 up there.
3? Dang, bro. All right.
What's up, everybody? Ooh, Taj Mahal's still all bright. You know what else is bright is my lights on the roof rack. So today I want to do a video on those. I got a comment on the last video from Gary who would like more information on the side mounted light bars. He's going to throw some on his Bigfoot camper. So anyways, I'm going to talk briefly about the light bars, but mainly how they're wired into a 6-switch panel relay and how it's all worked out. So let's dive on into the video. See you guys there. Alright, so these light bars are nothing special. They're actually Amazon specials. So there's a 42 inch on the sides, one on each side, and a 52 inch on the front. The 42 inch bar was $42. So they've worked pretty well. They're pretty bright lights. The reason I have them on the sides is kind of just for fun. Turned out to be really convenient though, for scoping campsites off to the side, checking out bears and all sorts of good stuff. Also, I'll have all the products I used in the link below. Most of them are on Amazon, so if you buy them through that link, it'll help support the channel, so check those out. The main thing is wiring though. I've got a couple hundred feet of wiring that I all wired up myself, running all the way through. So they obviously run through the rack here, and then they come down and they run across here. So they come in right here and then they go all the way down. They're routed in down through the floor and up through the firewall. And then there's all the wires go up through the firewall here, and then one wire comes over to this light controller. So as you can see, we've got the front light bar here, left light bar, right side light bar. We got the rounds that are on the front bumper and rear lights, and then we've got the air compressor hooked up to this as well. So these switches are all part of the Suitech 6-switch relay system, which again I'll link below. And it's really cool because it runs everything through relays rather than fuses, so it protects your main battery system. I'm also going to be doing a video on the up-down air system and how I air up all 4 tires at once. So stay tuned for that. So you'll see under the hood, so the wires come up through the firewall and then they go right here to the Suitech controller. And they all plug in right there. You can see this one's open. This is for the rear lights. There's no extra rear lights I have right now. So that's how they wire up. Just right in there, stick the wire in there and crimp it on nice and easy. You see they're all labeled, that's number 5. So yeah, really cool system. I love this Suitech controller. I really like these headlight rounds as well. These were like 40 bucks for 2 or something like that on Amazon. So again, I'll have the links for these below. They're cool too because they got black, you know, in the back. They're I don't know, I really like the looks of these a lot. And they're actually very bright. So I have these pointing out to the sides, as you can see. So these, when I have these on alone, man, things are really lit up. You put that rooftop light bar on and boy, things get crazy. You've probably seen in past videos that I didn't have the rooftop light bar on. I actually ended up taking it off and giving it to Keithco first time we met up in Oregon. So he's rocking that on his Dodge Ram Cummins, which is awesome. But no, I ended up giving it to him mainly because I just didn't want to haul it around with me. And I took it off because of the kayaks. I was having issues with the kayaks rubbing against the bar. It just got a nice new kayak, so I felt like I was just going to take the bar off. I didn't want to have it down low because it would kind of be in my line of sight. That's one thing I really love about this roof rack is it puts this front light bar out a little bit so you don't get nearly as bad a hood glare. So that's one thing really to consider. A lot of people complain about hood glare with rooftop light bars. Well, it all depends how your roof rack's set up, and if you're maximizing the roof of your truck like you are here, then you're gonna be good. You're gonna have it kind of leaning over. Sorry, I was looking at the side, plugging in the camera, making sure we keep you guys all charged up. So I've had this system on the truck for about a year now and haven't had any issues with it. I love it. So yeah, it's definitely something I would do in my next rig. The lights are a little bit bright on the switches. I've heard people hook them up to a dimmer, which is probably what I do next time. But yeah, it's good stuff. This is a great way, I think, to have some clean wiring. You're still gonna have a lot of wiring depending on where you put the controller box, and that's maybe something I might reconsider too. Like if I put the controller box on the back of the cab here, for example, you'd run all the wires down to that. You wouldn't have to run all the wires through the cab. That might be a way to do it next time, but then you're gonna have it out there. I like to have the controller box under the hood. So pros and cons, but definitely something to, the biggest and hardest thing with all of this was the wiring, no doubt. Planning where it's all gonna go, fitting it all in, and I did solder every joint just because I'm an RC car enthusiast and I love soldering. I believe in solder, so I spent a lot of time up on the roof soldering each and every joint. But yeah, this has been a great system for me. I like it. If you're considering a switch system and you're wanting something like an S-Pod, but you know, some cool system like that, but you don't want to spend as much money, this system I think is about 150 bucks versus about 500-600 for an S-Pod or name brand, and does very similar stuff. I will say though, I haven't run an S-Pod or a more name brand system, so I'd really like to try one of those out, potentially on the new build. But again, this is a great option for a more budget-friendly approach. So this roof rack is 2-inch aluminum bars. It's really light because it's made of aluminum, which is sweet. But these are GS Power 2-inch mounts. They've worked really well. I've mounted the antenna for the satellite with them, kayak racks, and some other things, and they have worked really well. So I love those. They're like 12 bucks for 2. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for checking out some details on these lights. Again, I'm doing a series of videos just about some details and modifications I've done to the truck. It is for sale, and I've got a buyer flying in about a week. So I want to feature, you know, show you some little things before she's gone forever. Well, at least in my possession. Of course, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of the action. The only question is, are you down to mob? Woo!